Good morning, friends. Happy Saturday to everybody. Or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may be. Hello. I hope everyone had a lovely week. As you can tell, I'm a little less sick than I was last week, so I don't have that ridiculous voice that I had last week with all kinds of rasp and all kinds of nasal. I've already pulled up the game, so we are ready to roll. And we are, I think, about to try to get past a bunch of guards with Henry and Sam. And so I guess we'll kick it off. I hope everybody is doing excellently and that you're staying healthy and you're staying safe and you are staying sane. Here we go. Boom.
You tried this before?
Yeah.
That's comforting.
Relax, old man.
I just hope you know the way.
Joel's not even old yet. Yet. Oh, I went fancy and I got a green screen this week. I ordered it a bit ago, but it took a little bit to get to me, and so we're upgrading. We're getting fancy up in here. I guess we'll sneak.
Okay. Let's try to take him out quietly. Hey, I'll follow your lead.
Hey, how you doing?
Just trying to keep warm. How's it looking out there?
We put down some infected.
I like that he said, "I'll follow your lead," and then just went ahead.
They're still in the city.
Also, we just quite loudly knocked over all these bottles.
God. Okay, everyone move
It's
up.
fine, but it's fine. Oop, not yet. It's funny how I remember playing this, the first time and getting, getting introduced to all the characters, obviously, as you play through for the first time. And then playing through again and realizing how ooh, this is dark. Not how little people are in the story, but it's like you're following Joel and Ellie, obviously, for a considerable, amount of time, the whole game. And you're meeting people as you go along, but I remember being like, oh, Tess isn't even with us for that long, and she seems like she was so important to me when I was playing through the first time, and I experienced that too with Henry and with Sam, and with Bill, and just kind of being like, oh, right, they're not like with you for half the game. And I think that that's really a testament to to the writing and to the character development and everything, that these people that seem like they're with you for such a long period of time, pop in and are there with you for a bit, and then, and then pop out as they do. So I think that's cool. Hello, the Blue Ash Gray. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having... Oh, shoot. I hope you're having a good weekend. Happy Saturday.
Yo, Joel, there's the guy on that light up there.
I see him.
Yeah, yeah. It's Sunday for, well, happy Sunday that it's Sunday for you.
Something to hide behind. Flank him.
All right, I can't dodge. Oh, okay. Well, jeez. You're low on health. Thank you. Come on. Why am I sneaking? He can already see me.
Over here.
What difficulty do you play? I'm not playing on a particularly heavy difficulty. Not for this because I'm talking mostly about story as I play along the game. So I'm not playing super heavy with the difficulty because if I did, I would get lost in the gameplay and I would stop talking story. But I'm going through off stream right now. I'm going through Grounded on part 2, which is a bit of a trip, but I'm having a good time. I can't remember what difficulty I'm on for this playthrough. If I went normal or if I went like super easy. I'm getting a lot of supplies, so I might have gone like super easy. Okay, I can't see you that way.
All right. We did it.
Oh my, Grounded. I played on moderate and lost my mind. Yeah, I mean, part 2 is a trip. It's wild. It's I found my first playthrough. I did it on moderate, and I found it like quite difficult in comparison to the first one because I've played the first one on Grounded multiple times at this point. And then when I was playing 2 on moderate, I was sort of like, wow, this really
Give me a hand with this. All right.
this is hard.
Come on.
Wait.
Hey, they're over here.
Oh, they saw me.
Got him.
Oh, all right. Well,
Come on,
that's
everyone.
fast.
Keep your eyes open. All right, check it out.
Oh, just cut off dialogue because why not? It is hard. Kudos to you. Well, thank you.
Sam, let's go.
All right, kid, come on. There you go.
Come on. Shit.
Hurry. Ready?
Okay, we gotta get him up.
I'm sorry. We're leaving.
What? What's this bullshit?
Hey, now!
What the fuck, Henry? We stick together.
Come on, Joel.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
I like that scene particularly, and that we get it here
Fuck, do we get out of here?
because I think that it hits Joel. Oh, I have a lot of supplies. It hits Joel that he has done similar things, or that he's likely done similar things. You know, that it's like he is very, you take care of your own.
Might come through here.
You know, and he gets frustrated when Henry does it, and of course Ellie gets frustrated when Henry does it. But there's also a sense of like, you know, you get it. You know, it's like they just met them.
Oh man.
Oh, well, okay. You know, but I think it's a great time to have that in this story, particularly because we were talking last week about how the story has developed and how we've seen these characters develop with how many times have you played part 1? Oh god. I lost count at some point. But I've definitely played it over 10 times. Whoa, okay.
I don't think so.
See if you can
What
find
was I
anything.
saying? Yeah, Ellie, pretty fucking good. I love that. I love her little remarks. But we were talking last week about the people that they've met so far, and of course we talked about Bill and sort of his relationship to Joel and the story, and Joel's development in the story. And we talked a little bit when we met Sam and Henry about them in the story, and we'll talk more sort of as their part in the story develops. But to get that particular, I know where to go. Thank you, hint. That scene in particular is great to have there because we've spent obviously so much time with Joel and Ellie on their own. And you know, now we see them with these two people, and they bring them into their they both Henry and Sam and Joel and Ellie sort of absorb the other into the group quite quickly. And then at one of the first signs of true opposition, Henry sort of says, "Hey, I have to take care of my brother. I gotta go." And that's something Joel would do. And like I just said a couple of minutes ago, that's something for him that I think hits him in this moment, and will hit him again in the future when they sort of have a discussion about that. But we'll get there. But I like that they present that at this point in the story because I think it's a good push forward. We were talking last week about the physical things that they run into versus the emotional things that they run into, and Sam and Henry provide a considerable amount of emotional obstacles for them. You know, they come up against physical obstacles altogether, but just the existence of Sam and Henry and sort of bringing them into the group creates an emotional obstacle for them, which is nice because they've had so many physical obstacles up until this point.
How many bullets do you have left?
They're gonna kill us.
What other choice do we have?
We jump.
No, it's too high and you can't swim. I'll boost you up, you run past them.
You'll keep me afloat.
Ellie!
No time to argue.
Ellie! Damn it! Ah!
And I love that there we get this moment of kind of Ellie taking control and going, this is what we have to do. And Joel has to follow.
Henry! He's awake!
Hey, you. We're alive. Okay.
See? What'd I tell you, huh? He's good. Everything's fine.
You know, Sam's the one who spotted you. You guys are taking quite a bit of water. What's wrong with you? Henry!
Get back,
Hey,
son!
hey, hey, hey! He's pissed, but he's not gonna do anything.
You sure about that?
Stop!
Joel?
He left us to die out there.
No, you had a good chance of making it, and you did. But coming back for you meant putting him at risk. Stay back. If it was the other way around, would you have come back for us? I saved you.
You saved me too. We would have drowned.
It's fine, I'm okay. You know, for what it's worth, I'm really glad we spotted you. Now, that radio tower, it's on the other side of this cliff. Okay? Place is gonna be full of supplies. You're gonna be really happy you didn't kill me. Hey, we're gonna search this area. See what we come up with.
That was intense. You cool?
Yeah. Let's go find that radio tower.
Hey, maybe we can find something in that boat over there.
I like that scene, and I think it's well done at this point in the story because there's so much that is said with a short scene, which is something that I think Naughty Dog is particularly good at. Who followed? Hey, DJ Regular, thanks for the follow. I know you. But, you know, Henry and Sam make the choice to save Joel and Ellie even after they've left them. You know, and they make the choice to stick together even though Joel is frustrated. And I like that Henry, excuse me.
It's a little bit different in the
One step at a time.
Henry approaches Joel very calmly and very logically with this sense of, hey, look, you would have done the same thing, man. And I think that as frustrated as
Ellie.
Joel is, Joel appreciates that.
I found another one of them comics you've been reading.
Oh, look, a boat note. We can do a dramatic reading. For those of you, if you haven't been here before, I do dramatic readings of all the notes that I find because I think it's fun. Well, it's looking like I've dodged the chaos and the mayhem long enough. My time out at sea is coming to an end. I'm short on supplies, and this boat has seen better days. And you know what? This was bound to happen sooner or later. I guess it's my time to go see what's left of mankind. Ooh, I can read. What could possibly go wrong, right? If you happen to find my skeleton, please don't step on my skull. Thanks. Ish. But I think it says something about Joel, and it certainly says something about Sam and Henry. You know, the fact that Sam and Henry do save Joel and Ellie, and Joel does, you know, make this choice to like, okay, we're gonna stick with them, you know, and I'm not gonna kill Henry here and now for leaving when he did, because Joel knows that he probably would have done the same thing to save Ellie.
I think we found something.
Let's go see what it is.
And to keep Ellie safe. And it's just sort of a nice full circle moment in terms of the brief time that we've even known Henry and Sam. We've gotten this very full sense of them and this very full sense of their relationship and their relationship so far to Joel and Ellie. Hey, Ebe? 82828. Wow. 82517. Thank you for following. Thank you for joining. Haha, I am late. It's fine. Come on.
Alright, come on, kids, go.
And we talked about this a little bit last week, and I think the first week when we were playing through, but I think storytelling-wise, they do a very good job of
Flashlights out. Sam's.
providing the gameplay with a pretty even, ratio of playing against people and playing against infected. And it seems to come along at certain points in the story where fighting people serves the story versus fighting infected serving the story. At least in my opinion. And so now that we're entering back into the sewer, we've just gone through trying to get out of the city, and we've just gone through, fighting people. Which, as we talked about last week, is integral to the understanding of what the world looks like as a whole, and what it's like for people to survive in this world versus people versus people and people versus infected, and how that serves the storytelling in terms of understanding where Joel came from and what he's done over the last 20 years, and Ellie getting a sense of that. And then when we get fights with infected, it's a little bit more about building any given relationship with the characters to each other, because as again we talked about last week and the first week, Joel really seems to forge a lot of his relationships through combat, and that will be true again here when we get to that point. And so it's I think it's important that we get this fight with the infected here, because that's the purpose that it is serving. Oh, but we have to do this puzzle first.
Can we get out this way?
I don't even know what this is. And I say it every time I play.
There's no way to reach that.
Well, I can't swim.
That makes two of us.
Oh, we know, Ellie.
All right, Joel. How do we get across?
Guess we have.
Oh, I just interrupted that dialogue. That's all right. Well, I'm glad to see all of you. Thank you for joining me here
Henry,
on your
give it a shot.
weekend.
All right.
I guess I didn't have to do that.
I'm gonna go have a look. You keep an eye out.
Joel, it just looked like you floated up those stairs. Oh, I hear a clicker.
Oh shit.
Gee, Joel, that was sneaky. That was so quiet. Oh, shit! Oh, shit. I forget that, that in this one, I've been playing so much of 2, and then in this one, automatically when you hit R1, it sends it off. Oh, shit. Well, I'm glad I had a lot of supplies. And look, a note. Yesterday I met some people that did not want to shoot me on sight. Shocking, I know. We traded some supplies and went on our merry way. They had kids with them and they seemed pretty scared. I almost told them about this place. What if they're like the others? What if... You know what? I don't care. What's the point of surviving if you don't have someone to laugh at your lame jokes? Tomorrow, I'm going to search for them. See if they want to join me in here. Ish. I also like that the notes tend to really play into things that are happening in the game at that moment. It's nice. And I think that Joel, with finding these notes from Ish and, you know, Ish saying, I really want to find these people and whatever, sort of speaks to exactly what Joel is going through right now with Sam and Henry, and of course with Ellie, although his relationship with Ellie has obviously blossomed since the beginning of the game. But I think it's a nice little... I always like the notes. And the little things that you can pick up and the little things that you can read, because I think that they really flesh out the world.
Still in one piece.
I'm always a fan of that in games, because I think it's just a nice, kind of a different way to tell the story, and it's something that is harder to get in TV and film, just because you don't get, you know, considerable amounts of time to have a, you know, to have a camera or have a shot that's just a bunch of,
There you go. That's the mark.
you know, a bunch of time spent like reading a note. It's just not something that's done a lot in TV and film, and so it's something that's a little bit unique to this brand of storytelling, which I appreciate. I like that Ellie always kind of flails.
All right, see if that generator's still got some juice.
Here goes nothing. All right.
Totally sneaky. This is not loud at all. Oh, I love Sam and Henry. That has nothing to do with story. Well, I guess it does. It has to do with character and building and the fact that they did it well, but I just wanted to say that I love them.
What's up with this?
Whoa. It's a soundtrack.
It's a sort of alarm. Someone used to live here. Don't
That's
look like
true.
that's the case anymore.
Who would stay in here?
Someone who thought they could keep a place like this safe.
You know, it's not like super terrible down here, if I'm being honest, considering we're in a dystopia. Yeah, shorty.
You hear that? Infected.
Shh, quiet.
Ooh, yeah, bombs upgraded. It's so weird to be playing this on an easier setting and then go back to playing, I was just talking about earlier how I'm playing 2 on Grounded right now, and you just literally never find anything. It is so the world is so scarce of supplies. And in this one, because I'm on an easier setting, they're just everywhere. Like, I'm stocked. Sorry, Sam. Oh, that's the way we just came. Oh, I'm winning today, guys. Or y'all. Don't have to gender my greetings. Where am I going? I've played this game like 15 times. Probably more. It's fine. Oh, okay. That was an aggressive opening of the door. Oh, okay.
Well, I guess we know what happened to these people.
Look at that arm. Just like flailing. That's gruesome and kind of dope. I think it's really funny. Anyway, story. I talked a bit last week too about how I appreciate the differences in where the game is played. It's like sometimes we're in, subterranean areas and buildings and outside in the world and all of this stuff, and sometimes we're in basements or we're in more gritty, dank areas. And I think that also speaks to kind of what's going on at that point in the game. Joel and Ellie are just coming out of a very kind of a very difficult time where essentially they very nearly both died, having jumped off this bridge. The bluish gray, it does. Yes, it does. Now I missed my note because I was pontificating. And we have to do our dramatic readings because they're incredibly ridiculous. We're trapped. I think everyone else is dead. Some of the little ones are with me. I got infected pounding at the door. I don't know how long we'll hold out. If Ish and the others are alive, maybe they can reach us. If it comes down to it, I'll make it quick. Kyle. Oof. That's brutal. That's how uplifting. But yeah, I appreciate the differences in where they play and how that plays into the ultimate full storytelling of the world and the world building, and it's smart, in my opinion. But this is a smart game, so I can't expect anything less. But I will always give props where props are due.
Hey, you think that leads out?
Could be. It's too high for a post. Maybe there's another way to get there.
Is it too high for a boost? Yes, it probably is. Joel.
Yeah, I'm cool.
That was me. I must have triggered some kind of safety gate or something. Henry, see if we can lift this.
So, this is awkward.
Yeah. I know, it's like every time.
Clickers!
What?
Hey, this thing
My
is a
weekly
bunch,
reminder
man.
not to smoke because it's a terrible habit.
You stay close to him.
Henry, we gotta fucking move!
And I hate that I do it.
Safe, go!
Do as I say, not as I do, right? So like I was saying earlier, this is, you know, one of these moments, and we discussed this a little bit last week about what happens to Joel when he gets separated from Ellie, and what happens for Ellie, too.
Okay.
And that, you know, in this moment, he is suddenly now responsible for Sam, as opposed to being responsible for Ellie. You know, and Henry's responsible for Ellie, as opposed to being responsible for Sam. And what that does for them as characters. Oh, okay, you went behind a pole. I guess I could have strangled, but the shiv is just so much faster. But I'll change it up. I'll strangle you. Game is always trying to give me hints. I don't need hints. So many supplies. Just everywhere. Totally didn't see me. So sneaky. That's impossible, but I'll take it. Oh, okay. Did not get a headshot. It's fine. It's fine, I'm not angry at all. Is it pod? I'm blanking on pod. What is pod? I'm old. I love the detail that they put into this sewer. And just this sense of like, wow, there were families down here and there were children and there were, you know, and we get, ooh, okay. That was, you probably should have noticed me. I've been moving around quite a bit.
You did it.
We're gonna keep going. You good?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the differences.
It's like a classroom.
I'll let them talk before I
How
talk.
can they keep it safe?
Son, I wish I knew. God knows they didn't deserve it.
I like the differences between Sam and Ellie, you know, in the way that it's like Ellie will jump into, you know, now that she's built this relationship with Joel, it's like she'll jump into the fight and she'll stab someone with her, you know, with her switchblade, or she has her gun now that Joel gave her, and so she'll shoot and she'll become part of the fray. And Sam is a little bit more reserved. He stands back, like he lets Joel go through this whole thing. And I also like that we see a little bit of Joel's softness in the fact that, you know, Sam asks this question about the sewer, and Joel talks to him. Like, he doesn't tell him to be quiet and he doesn't shut him down. You know, they have a little bit of a moment there, which I think speaks to what Ellie is doing to him and opening him back up. Oh, sorry. Oh, is it a pen cigarette? Sorry if I confused you. No, it's fine. Oh, yeah, a pod. Okay, a pod. You didn't confuse me. That's, my brain was somewhere else. Yeah, it's a pen cigarette. It's a vape. Oh, look, a kid's drawing. Daddy-ish, our protectors. Can't really do a dramatic reading of that. That's sad, though.
Go ahead.
And I appreciate that we're getting this, you know, this understanding of Joel at this point in the story, because I think it's exactly where we need it, because we've gotten these turning points of him and Ellie getting closer and him giving Ellie the gun, and all of these things. That was almost on my head.
There we go. Good job, kid.
You know, and now we get to see how Joel is becoming a little bit more open and a little bit softer, not only with Ellie, but we're seeing the effect that he is we're seeing the effect that Ellie is having on Joel outside of Ellie being with him, which I think is a great storytelling choice, because it speaks to him as a whole character and not just his relationship to Ellie.
We gotta keep running. Sam! Run! There's so many of them!
Ellie, get away from the door.
Maybe if we push it together.
It's not gonna work.
Sam! He just crawled through!
He what? Sam, what the hell are you doing?
Getting us out of here.
Well, hurry up then. All right, go.
Yeah, Sam.
Everyone upstairs. Let's go.
See, Sam knows what to do.
Damn thing's stuck.
Here, give me a boost. I can get through that window.
Open it from the other side.
Make it fast.
Come on, Sam. You're not staying in there. What about you?
So many supplies in here. So impressive.
Go.
Oh, Blue Ash Curry, you used to have one and you lost it? That stinks. I've lost mine a couple of times. I think I lost mine once and had to get a new one. And then one time, I accidentally dropped one in the toilet. It fell out of my pocket. I was not, like, vaping in the bathroom. It was in my pocket and it fell out. But then I had to get a new one. Oh, okay. That's not what I want. Oh, man. There we go.
Doors open! Go!
That sucks. Yes, it does. Blue ash gray. It does. Oops. Hit the mic. Sorry, y'all.
Look at this.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Thanks for the warning on the other side, guys.
Yeah,
Where's this tower?
exactly what would go through my mind.
We're close. Come on, let's go. Hey, how you doing, little man?
That was a close one, huh?
Yeah, not one of our finest moments, but we made it out. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Yep, what'd I tell you, huh?
Let's find a way around to it. What about you? How you holding up?
Business as usual, right? When I was with Henry, I took out a couple of infected by myself. Make me proud.
Yeah.
That's a great moment between them. Because he would be, and also he kind of hates that he would have to be. Because it sucks. This world kind of sucks.
It was pretty intense back there, huh?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
How did you two end up together?
Oh, a friend of mine, Marlene, asked him to take me to Ireland. Yeah, well, not a Isn't that right, Joel?
Kinda. I like that you hear little bits of their conversations and stuff. I think it's lovely. And it's so nice to see Ellie with someone that's her age. You know, you just get to see a little bit more of her kind of come out. A looting note. Are you ready? Oops, that's not right. Another night, another shooting. I could see the muzzle flashes coming from the Carsons' windows. I stayed up the entire night with the whole family in one room. I doubt anybody got any sleep. It's only a matter of time before the looters try to break into our house. We have to get out of here. That skinny man approached us again. He traded more of his bullets for some of our food. He offered us to join him in his hideout. He says it's secure and, more importantly, hidden. Easily defendable is how he described it. He said that the only reason he trusts me is because I have kids. I wonder who that note is talking about. We'll get there. But I like that it's planted here. Nope. That's not how to swap. I wish I could craft arrows in this game, like you can in 2. Tomorrow I'll buy a new one. You do that, Blue Ash Gray. I mean, I don't condone smoking, but, you know, you do what you gotta do. And obviously, I must condone it in some form because I do it. But, you know, listen,
What was this place like?
we all have our vices.
Can't even imagine.
Oops. Sorry, Sam. I like that Ellie has those little moments, and she says it a number of times throughout the game, imagining what the world was like before, because of course she never knew it. And I think that that's actually quite a big part of her character. We talked about that a little bit last week, you know, about the fact that it's like she never...
Like it is in the zone. These are wild.
She never knew the world before. You know what I mean? She probably knows in some capacity a little bit, just from stories and from like lessons or whatever. But she grew up in a very different world than, you know, Joel.
Here we go.
I challenge you. I don't know. It said challenge you in the rules. That's fair. That's fair. That was specifically more welcome, by the way, Aquaman on Xbox. That's in relation to I'm breaking down a little bit of what I do. A lot of what I do here on Pros and Consoles is I play games that have great stories, and I break them down from a storytelling perspective. You know, I myself am a writer and I'm a storyteller, so I'm doing it through that lens. But I also, you know, may get things wrong, or I may see things one way and others may see them another way, and so I always challenge people to challenge me or to say what they think or whatever. Thank you, Data Wizard Games, for following. I know that name. Sup, Data. Oh, I should get weapon holsters. I've been saying this since I started this playthrough, but I didn't do a New Game Plus, and so I don't have all of my weapons, and I don't have all my holsters and all my upgrades, which is so weird, because I'm so used to playing New Game Plus at this point. So it's fun to be kind of starting all over from the beginning.
What is this?
Oh, this is an ice cream truck.
An ice cream truck?
Yeah, Henry told me about these. They sell ice cream out of the truck.
What? No way. Joel?
That's true. This thing drive around and play real loud, creepy music, and kids would come running out.
Very
to buy
creepy
ice cream.
music.
You're totally fucking with me.
Serious.
Man, you lived in a strange time.
Told you so.
Again, you know, Ellie with, you know, this curiosity and this kind of odd relationship to the world before. And I love that they add that in, because I really do think, I talked about it, I think last week, you know, how interesting it is, just her relationship to everything, her relationship to the infected, her relationship to violence, and her relationship to what is right and wrong, and quote unquote right and wrong, you know, and that it's so much about kind of her own moral compass, because for a lot of people here, it has to be about their own personal moral compasses, because they live in a world where there aren't strict laws and strict rules. And in some places there are, like in the QZs there are, but even, you know, even Fedra has lost a little bit of its hold on the QZs at this point. Look, a note. Father's note. Kara, you're the adult while I'm gone. Take care of your brother. He's looking to you for protection now. I won't be gone for more than a few days to gather food and supplies. If for some reason I haven't returned after a week, take your brother and head to the Pittsburgh quarantine zone. Don't open the door to anyone but me. Save your bullets. If you have to leave, stay low and move quickly. Use your size to you advantage. I'll see you soon. Dad. Oof. It's so brutal to get this sense of like everybody, in some way is living exactly like this. and all the parents are having to do this very brutal, you know, thing with their kids, that it's like you have to grow up, and you have to grow up quickly. And
You alright?
Yeah, sailing's falling apart. Watch yourself.
where did you come from, Ellie? Where were you? You just appeared. Winner gets my glasses. I just saw that.
Find anything?
Here you go.
Sure, I mean, I need them to see, but why not?
Thank you.
Hey. Thanks, Ellie. I like that that was the only thing up there. It was just this, like, training manual. I love the music in this game. I mean, I think I say it multiple times every week, but I just love it. I think the moments that the group kind of gets a brief respite are also very well placed and very strategic, which is smart. Not only from a standpoint of, as a player, kind of getting a moment, getting a second, getting a break to sort of regroup and, you know, do whatever you need to do with your supplies and whatever, but also from a standpoint of giving the characters room to develop with the experiences that they have had together. You know, with like Ellie and Sam growing closer, and you know, Joel kind of having these moments of somewhat quiet reflection, even though obviously we aren't necessarily inside Joel's brain and we don't get like a running commentary of things for him. But
Ellie, found another one of them comics.
but it's nice. Look, another note. A survivor's note. Oh, okay. That wasn't the right button. You know what? It's fine. One open door. That's all it took. One of us forgot to close the door, and a horde of those monsters entered our camp. We shut them in there and wrote a warning on the outside. Susan and a couple of the kids are with me. As far as I know, we're the only survivors. I had to hold Susan so she wouldn't run back in there, go back for the bodies. It's just too dangerous. She lost her children, and I have no clue what to say to her. Every part of my being just wants to give up. It'd be so easy to surrender to this world. I can't do that, though. I have too much faith in humanity. I've seen that we're still capable of good. We can make it. I have to stay strong. For her. Ish. A nice little moment there. A nice little note, you know, which harkens to so much of the theme of this game, you know, the endure and survive, and also something that Joel will say at the end of the game, you know, which I don't have to say now because we'll get there. But yeah, it's a nice running theme. 8/21/36. Not that I'll have to remember it, because in this game I don't need to remember the combinations. Oh yes, arrows. I will take all those things, and that binding.
Sam?
Yeah, darts.
Be careful. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll go first.
Oh,
Damn it.
Just this ammo sitting by the darts.
okay.
Sure, why not?
Throw it.
Yeah.
Boosh! I am a natural.
Luck.
No, it
Ellie.
wasn't.
It was luck.
Alright, get out of here. You're getting cocky. Here we go. Fuck.
Horrible.
Alright. It's a tie.
No. You clearly got destroyed.
How did I clearly get destroyed? That's practically a tie.
Yeah, okay.
Nice, Joel.
There'll come a day where kids can just be kids again.
Let's go.
Oof. That's such a great moment. Because it highlights, the fact that, Henry keeps this very positive outlook on everything, and I think partially it's, that he believes it and he wants it, and I think part of it too is for Sam. Whereas Joel, having done the things that he has done in the last 20 years, most of which we don't even know,
Fireflies were here.
Yeah, by the looks of it.
How are we gonna find them?
I know a guy.
that Joel doesn't
Brother,
necessarily
actually.
shut him down and say,
was
no, you're
brother.
wrong, but he
Last I heard, he was in
he
Wyoming.
brushes it off
We get there, we
because
find
he
him,
doesn't
we
he
find
doesn't
fireflies.
necessarily think that that's true.
What do you say, you in?
Sounds like a good plan, man.
And despite that, he will still fight to keep these people safe, and he will still fight for Ellie. Despite all that. Oh, and I can't remember where to go again, even though I've played this game 1,000 times. The number just keeps getting higher every time I say it. Oh, we have to go through the house. Right. And now we're about to be back to fighting people. After this, this moment of fighting infected and sort of like getting them closer to each other,
Fucking sniper.
we're now faced with them having to fight as a group together to get past these people, as they did before, but now they're a little bit
Stay
closer.
here.
No.
Before you start, I need you guys to keep him busy. I'm gonna go around and see if I can't get the angle on him.
Okay. Hey. Be careful.
Oh, got a little glitchy there for a sec. I hope the stream's doing all right today, y'all, with with sound and with visual, because I've still been playing around because I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks, and I can only do it once a week. And I'm still playing around with stuff, and my rig isn't super fancy, so I've been trying to play around with the settings to get the best.
Go back to where you fucking came from. Where'd you go?
The best settings that we can get. With what I am given.
There you are.
I like that he said there you are, but he didn't shoot. Oop. or you're gonna burn. Sorry, bro. It's perfect. Great. Thank you, Blue Ash Gray. I'm glad that it's working well. I do eventually want to upgrade. I want to either build my own rig or just upgrade, because I would eventually like to be able to stream in 1080 and also at 60 frames per second, but we will do what we must for right now, because I really just like to talk about story.
So, where was it you were going?
I keep forgetting that I have my listen mode, because on Grounded in Part 2 right now I don't have it, so I keep forgetting that I can use it in this game. Which is lovely, because I do love listen mode, and it is a rough gig to not have it for Grounded on Part 2. Oh, I mean, that was a choice. That was a choice, Joel. Ah, damn it. That just seems like a blatant lie. Ah.
Get him, boys! Go, you fucking kick!
Oh, one more. You got some armor on you, don't you? Damn. Ooh. I guess I mean... Oh, I was just in there. So like when we were in the sewer and we were fighting the infected, and I was talking about, you know, the differences in the world between when they go into places that are more that are above ground versus places that are subterranean, and fighting infected versus fighting people. No listen mode on Grounded, that's a bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's hard. It's real hard. And now we're quite literally putting Joel in this, oops, missed, in this very protective position of everybody, where he's, oh shit, you know, where he's on this gun and everybody's kind of out in the open. I can kind of see you. Is that actually a person? Oh shit. I forgot that. I forgot that they sneak up. And so now that we have him in this very specific protector position where he's protecting not from infected yet, but from these people, I think it speaks to this thing's brutal, man. It speaks to this understanding of, like I was talking about last week. I talked about it very, very in depth about what Joel was like, you know, for the last 20 years and things that we didn't see him do, and that I think every time that we face people, as opposed to infected, it speaks to that again and again. Damn it. Not fast enough.
That was intense.
You know, and it's kind of every time there, you know, it builds an intensity,
Thanks, Joel.
you know, and at this point he blows up a tank, essentially.
Look at this. All right. We did it.
We should move.
And so that sort of builds on
Sam!
what I've been talking about in terms of,
Sam, are you okay?
I lost my train of thought, killing the infected.
Come on, come on!
Let's move!
Oh, the obstacles that continuously get in their way at every turn, and that they build in intensity every time. You know, and that Joel has been trying to kind of take an easier route, and every time he thinks he finds one, something bigger and something even more intense than before
You're okay.
gets in the way, which is just kind of basic storytelling. You know, most of your characters will try to take an easier road for themselves. And as storytellers, it's your job to throw obstacles in their way again and again and again, every time.
Shut the hell up.
That's serious.
Hmm.
It's Tommy's birthday, and that's all he wanted to do is just rent 2 Harleys and drive cross country.
Oh, man. I could die happy if I could just ride one around the block. What was it like?
It was good. Real good.
Good. Can you believe this guy? Come on, man. Give me details. Describe it.
You know what? You two deserve a little privacy.
No, Ellie. This isn't
Ellie.
just any regular motorcycle, okay? You get on that bad boy, you feel that engine? Nothing like it.
Oh, yeah? How would you know?
Seen it in my journey.
I love Ellie.
Okay.
Boys.
I don't think anyone from my group is gonna show up.
Yeah.
Worst part about it all, explaining it to Sam.
This particular moment is about to be really important.
Well, it's safe to say those two have officially bonded. What are you doing?
Taking stock of all the food we found today.
I see. And how are we doing on canned peaches?
Did Henry send you?
No? Why would Henry send me?
To make sure I'm not fucking up somehow.
I'd say we all did pretty good back there. Especially you.
Henry protects Sam, but he is a little hard on him.
Is everything all right?
But then again,
Yeah,
I mean,
everything's fine.
he kind of has to be.
Okay. Well, have a good night.
How is it that you're never scared?
Who says that I'm not?
What are you scared of?
Let's see. Scorpions are pretty creepy. Being by myself. I'm scared of ending up alone.
Oh, Ellie.
What about you?
Those things out there. What if the people are still inside? What if they're trapped in there without any control of their body?
It's pretty deep, Sam.
Scared of that happening to me.
Okay. First of all, we're a team now. Okay, we're gonna help each other out. And second, they might still look like people, but that person is not in there anymore.
Henry says that they've moved on. That they're with their families. Like in heaven. Do you think that's true?
I go back and forth. I mean, I'd like to believe it.
But you don't.
I guess not.
Yeah. Me neither.
Oh. All the serious talk. I almost forgot. There. If he doesn't know about it, he can't take it away. All right. I'm pooped. I'll see you tomorrow.
I will break down this scene. I'm just respectfully letting it play out.
Damn. That smells good.
Good morning.
Where's Sam?
I let him sleep in for once.
Oh.
Well, if you want him to join us, you can go wake his ass up.
Okay. Sam?
What the hell? Shit, he's turning!
That's my fucking brother!
Screw it!
Shit!
Ellie? Ellie, are you alright?
Oh my god.
Sam?
Oh no.
Sam?
Henry? Ellie, stay there. Henry?
What have you done?
I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy.
This is your fault.
This is nobody's fault, Henry.
It's all your fault!
Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
It's so brutal. That scene, or that smattering of scenes, is so well crafted because there's so much in there. You know, when Henry and Joel are kind of bonding, you also get this sense of, you know, when Henry says, "I don't think anyone from our group is going to show up." Jackson.
County. Means we're close to Jackson City, right?
Should be more than a few miles.
You ready to see dear old brother?
I'm just ready to get there.
Yeah,
Nervous?
Tommy.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
You know, when Joel and, when Henry says, "I don't think anyone from our group is going to show up," you know, and it's going to be so hard explaining all of it to Sam, there's this sense for him that he's lost a great deal of that positivity or that hope in terms of what he was saying earlier when they were playing darts, you know, and he says, there's going to be a world where kids can be kids again, or I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that's what he says. You know, and then at this point to have him say, you know, the look on his face when he says, "I don't think anyone from our group is going to show up," he's got this sense of lost hope, which I think really is a driving force behind eventually what happens at the end when he ends up feeling like he's the one that has to kill Sam. You know, that's something that he has to do. He's not going to let Joel do it. He's not going to let Ellie do it. He's going to do it. And then ultimately, heart-wrenchingly turning the gun on himself, you know, just this ultimate loss of hope. And how heartbreaking that is, and how heartbreaking that conversation between Sam and Ellie is, for so many reasons, you know, and some deep look into Ellie and, you know, and her saying that she's so terrified of ending up alone, you know, just because for her at this point in her 14 years, it's what's happened again and again and again. You know, her mom died and then Riley died. And I was talking a little bit last week, I think, about the struggle that Ellie faces now being this immune person and, like, you know, what does that mean for her and what does that mean for humanity and the burden that causes her, and how detached she feels from other people also because of that, just because there's this thing that she has that has kind of saved her life already, you know, once and will again, this idea that she can't get infected, and how kind of isolating that can be. And for her, that also this dichotomous fear of, like, I'm going to end up alone. I already feel like I am alone and I'm scared of ending up alone, but I already feel like I'm living this thing that I fear most, you know, and now I have this guy who's traveling with me across the country to do this thing, and she's latching on to him, and just how complicated it is, you know, and how...
Okay. What's the plan?
All right, Ellie. I mean, I get it. I am just sitting here talking. But, you know, and then Sam saying, you know, that he's so terrified of getting stuck inside an infected body, but having his brain, I mean, that's quite deep, you know, for a kid of his age. But how terrified he is of that because of how immediate that fear is to him, because he knows that he's been infected and he knows that he's been bitten, but he's too afraid to say anything, because he knows what happens in this world when you say that. And the terror that he must have felt, you know, he gets this conversation with Ellie and he's reaching out, kind of hoping that she'll say, yeah, you know, I believe that maybe there is an afterlife and maybe people do go to a good place or they go to a happy place or they go to a place where they see people that they've lost or whatever. But of course, Ellie is kind of like, I don't know. I don't know that I believe in that. And I don't really think I do. You know, and that's kind of one of the last things that Sam is left with. And he dies alone and turns in that room alone. And how heartbreaking that is. And how that's something that Ellie's going to carry. And she says it a little bit and talks about it a little bit, but I think it's more just something that we as audience members understand that she is carrying now. That she's carrying this last conversation with him. And that's hard. And sorry, I wasn't walking while I was, you know, pontificating, but I really enjoy that scene. And I think that there's so much
What happened between
in
you
it,
two?
and it's so
What do
heartbreaking.
you mean?
You and Tommy. You're not together, so clearly something went
So
wrong.
thank you for
Just had
indulging
a
me.
bit of a disagreement, that's all.
Ah, here we go. So what was it about?
Tommy saw the world one way, I saw it the other.
And that's why he joined the Fireflies.
Yeah, your friend Marlene promised him hope. That kept him busy for a while, but just like Tommy, he eventually quit that too.
How was it?
Icy, Joel.
The last time you saw him?
I believe his last words to me were, I don't ever want to see your goddamn face again.
But he's gonna help us?
I suppose we're gonna find out.
Well, there without his help?
He's eventually gonna do
Let's just keep going.
a lot of things. A lot of things.
Whoa, what's that?
Right there's a hydroelectric power plant. It uses the river's movement and turns it into electricity.
How does it do that?
Look, I know what it is. I don't know how it does it.
Alright. How are we getting across? There you go.
I was talking about this earlier, you know, in terms of the characters that we're introduced to, and obviously throughout the game we're introduced to many characters that come in and then go, you know, with Tess and Bill and Sam and Henry, and I remember the first time I played it being so affected by all these characters, and then the second time that I played it through, being surprised at how short it felt like they were with us for any given point of the game, you know, especially like Sam and Henry. I was like, gosh, they're so important and I loved them so much, and they're actually not even with us for that long. And I think I said this earlier, but I find that to be quite a testament to the storytelling, you know, and the way that the characters are built and the way that the story is crafted and told, because that's something that can be difficult. It can be difficult to create characters that are very integral to a story and emotionally hard-hitting, that are only with you for a short amount of time. Always, this has been a chill conversational thing to watch while working on coding stuff. Awesome, Data. I'm so glad that you're here. That's sort of what I'm trying to create. You know, it's like I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just really enjoying breaking down story. I mean, I love, it's my favorite thing in the world is telling stories and getting to consume stories. And so I mixed those things together for this, for Pros and Consoles, and I'm excited that you're enjoying it. Thank you for tuning in. Oh. Spin it.
Oh, give it a spin.
Joel, all your ammo is wet now.
Hey, be careful crossing that thing.
I will.
I am.
Teamwork.
It's the little moments. It's the little things that make me happy. And I think particularly with Sam and Henry, the way that we talked about with Bill and Joel, or the way that I talked about with Bill and Joel,
I'm so
and their
hungry.
sort of like
I know, I am too.
dichotomies and
next
their
row, I
their
see 'em from
mirrors of each other,
Get past this place, then we can
and
start
Ellie
to keep
too.
moving.
Well, if I starve, you're responsible.
And the reason that Bill came in when he came in, I think that there's an ultimate arc and storytelling reason that we get, you know, Sam and Henry at the time that we do, because it's ultimately before we make it to this group with that we're about to make it to, you know, and it's these two people as opposed to
should
this
we
great
head
big
in?
group,
Ain't no way around. Gonna have to cut through the
which is
plan.
sort of a somewhat of a stepping stone, I think, for Joel of just of trusting people more. You know, I mean, he obviously trusts Ellie, and we get that relationship. But it's nice to sort of get these little stepping stones of, well, he trusted, you know, Sam and Henry, and they were on this journey together for however brief that time was, unfortunately. And then there's also, you know, then you get gut punched with, oh, by the way, this world also sucks, lest we forget how much it sucks. It does. Joel cares very little for the condition of his weapon and ammo. Yes, Briosaurus Rex, also welcome. Yes, he does. He cares very little. Look at me picking up weed. I think I said this in the first playthrough that I was doing, that I just can't stop thinking about my my teen years when I played Resident Evil and had to run around and pick up what literally looked like weed in order to heal myself. And in this game, you only pick up the pills in 2. You're not picking up, as far as I can remember, and I've played 2 like 5 times at this point. You're not picking up flowers and weed. But I love in this game that they pop up randomly, and I'm always like, oh, Resident Evil. I mean, there is weed in part 2. Literal weed.
Don't even
Spoiler.
think about reaching for your weapon. Tell the girl to drop hers now.
Ellie? Do as the lady says.
Hey,
Please tell me you're lost.
We didn't know the place was occupied. We're just trying to make our way through.
Through to where?
They're all right.
Oh,
We know
Maria.
these people?
Know him. He's my goddamn brother.
Tommy.
Holy shit.
I like that Joel doesn't recognize his voice.
How you doing, baby brother?
Goddamn. Let me look at you. You get fucking old.
Easy. It's gonna happen to you, too.
This is Maria. Be nice to her. She sort of runs things around here.
Yes, she does.
Ma'am, thanks for not blowing my head off.
Would have been embarrassing, considering you're my brother-in-law.
We all gotta get wrangled up at some point.
I love the music in this moment.
Ellie, right?
yeah.
What brings you through here?
That's kind of a long story.
Why don't we bring him inside?
I like that she looks
Yeah.
at Joel for that. Ellie does.
You hungry?
Starving.
I like the music here because it's sort of understatedly hopeful in a way. You know, the fact that this is really,
You're friendlies. We've been dealing with raids. A lot of bandits in this area.
you know, besides the little moments of light that we have seen with Henry and Sam and stuff like that, and that we get these short fleeting moments that we actually
The turbine's gonna stop.
get
We have electricity. Joe.
some time
I had.
here with this
We'll get
group
around again.
that is together,
No way.
that is outside of a QZ.
We got a whole lot of them.
Hey, Tommy, give me a hand with this.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Can I?
Yeah, of course. He likes when you cut his ears. You ever ride one?
I actually have.
When have you ridden a horse?
Winston.
All right, Joel.
This
Sassy.
soldier back in the zone. He gave me lessons.
You know, if you want, we can take him riding later.
That'd be awesome.
There.
Hey, thanks, Tommy.
No sweat. All right, let's continue the tour.
And like I was talking
Carl?
earlier about these like
Why are you
moments of
here?
respite,
Weren't you supposed to head back this morning?
Still waiting on Hauser and the rest
it's
of the
so
boys
nice to get
release.
one here after how
We'll be
heavy,
fine. Just go home to your family.
how heavy it is.
Just a couple more hours, I'll tell
Everything that happens with
Right, look,
Henry and
take it
Sam that we get this dichotomy. That word again. I've mentioned it so many times throughout the last couple of streams, but dichotomies play a huge part in these games in general. But this dichotomy of how heavy that was with them.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're in the control room.
And then
Steve's
we
about to
get
start
this
back up. You want to come check it out?
this hopeful moment with these people.
It's my turn anyway. I'll go.
But how kind of bittersweet that is, because you know as a player, and Joel and Ellie know, that
Come
it's
on,
like
Ellie.
there's
Give
still
the boys some space.
something to be done.
I'm sending Tommy over. Stand by.
I love here that Ellie doesn't want to be
This will be
separated
the
from
sixth
Joel.
time they've
I
tried
think
to
that
get
says a
turbines
lot.
back online.
And that Joel says, like, it's okay.
We've been here just a week, and it feels like forever.
I think that says a lot in a brief interaction between the two of them.
I got something for you. Last year I went back to
So
Texas,
much weed.
back home.
Yes,
Most of our stuff
Briannosaurus
is
Rex.
long gone.
So much weed.
Most of it. Here. It's a little faded, but it still looks pretty good.
I'm good.
You sure? I mean,
I said I'm good.
okay. I'll hold on to it for
I like that he can
Oh, yeah.
barely look at Tommy.
I need
With
to
that
talk
photo.
to you privately.
you. Yeah, okay. Let me just check on my guys real quick.
And I like that in this moment too, with the photo, because we've been seeing Joel open up a little bit more with Ellie, and even with Henry and Sam. But that in that moment when he's presented with this truly horrific event that happened in his past, that he's not ready. You know, even though he feels so protective of Ellie and that relationship is blossoming and it is blooming, he still can't go to that place in himself in regards to Sarah. You know, and it's going to be something that's a struggle for him. I mean, forever, of course. A parent having to bury their child is horrific and tragic, and something that, you know, doesn't go away.
You should see the town. We're over 20 families strong now. It was Maria and her father. They set up this place with the idea of being self-sustained. We got crops and livestock.
But I think it's a nice
Remember how we
reminder
thought no
for
one
us
could live
that
like this
Joel
anymore?
has come quite far, but he is still
We're doing it.
closed.
What do you do for protection?
Adults take turns guarding the perimeter. We even got an electrified fence when the plant's up.
You still gotta deal with infected though, right?
Who doesn't?
Oh no,
It's
I
the
want
world
that.
we live in.
Or maybe you don't have to be.
You sound like Marlene.
You guys talking about Jackson? Just talking about Jackson?
Hey, buddy.
That's Buckley. Not much of a guard dog.
That's a good boy.
Hi,
Good to have
Buckley.
around.
Hello. Hello, sir. Look at you with your ball. Yes, you're so cute. Okay. Look, I just want to play with the dog. Is it so much to ask? So many
These two
supplies.
geniuses are gonna bring this plant back to life.
We think we got it this time.
Oh,
You don't believe us?
I didn't say that.
I'll bet you $1 million it works.
I have to use the restroom very quickly, but I will be back in like literally 2 or 3 minutes.
No rush.
So I will be back to talk more story. Just give me a couple minutes and I will reappear. Oh, my computer went to sleep. BRB. Hello all, I have returned. Briannosaurus Rex. I just finished the game for the 4th time 20 minutes ago, and I'm still so blown away by how well written it is and how every part of their journey is so impactful. The attention to detail and the care taken in the writing of these characters and the story as a whole in creating this world they're all living in. So much yes. I am very excited to talk about, you know, the story as a whole. I've been talking a little bit about it, but trying not to be too oops, I just bumped the mic. Too spoilery in terms of like some of the foreshadowing and stuff like that, but certainly I slip every now and then, or there are certain things that I sort of put a pin in order to come back to, especially a lot of stuff in relation to the way that Ellie behaves or her choices or things that she says. But the care that is taken with these characters and the journey that they're all on together and also all on individually is so stunning, in my opinion. I know that there has been a lot of controversy around certain choices that were made in 2 and certain storytelling elements that were used in 2 and techniques that were used in 2. But I personally really enjoyed it. I really, really loved it. I thought it was very well crafted, and I can't wait to talk about it when I get there. I love this story, and I love these characters, and I love this world, even though it is so brutal and it's so hard. I think it's a really stunning portrayal of humanity in a time that is very different from the world that we live in. And I mean, certainly there are elements that that overlap with our world, but there are so many things that are different. And I think that sort of the study of humanity that they delve into, and that the journey that they have these characters go on, is very human, and doesn't shy away from the dark, which I personally really like because I'm into that. I'm like, yeah, the deeper and darker the better, let's go. 2 was an absolute masterpiece. It is such a raw and honest continuation. I agree. I completely agree. And again, I'm so excited to really get into it when we get there, because it is so full. I feel like I'm gonna have to after. So I've played 2, I think, like 5 times at this point. I'm on my 5th. I'm on my 5th time playing. I'm playing on Grounded right now, playing through, and the experience has been so wonderful every time playing it. And for me, there's just something I've said, you know, even like with the first one and stuff, I've always felt very close to Ellie as a character. I think that I see a lot of myself in Ellie, and I relate to her very strongly. And even in 2, and even in some of the choices that she makes in 2, even though it's hard, you know, some of the choices are so heartbreaking, I see it and I go, yeah, with where you are and with where your mental state is, yeah, Ellie, I get it, and it hurts. And it hurts, and I get it. And I think that there was, you know, everything in these games, from the animation to the gameplay to the storytelling to the performances to the writing to everything, is so beautifully crafted, and so the care that is taken is so beautiful from the actors and the creative team. Not just the writing creative team, but the entire creative team over at Naughty Dog is so special. And I think it's really beautiful, and I cannot state enough how wonderful I think it is that they have made a series of video games like this that is so human and so emotional and so story driven, while having really wonderful gameplay. I mean, it is a true achievement. the series of The Last of Us, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess we'll continue now after I just gave a love letter to it. But yeah, when I feel like when I get into 2 and I start talking about 2, I wrote like a 15-page paper after the first time that I played it about the story and the themes and everything. And it was just like a dissertation that I wrote basically just for fun because I just really wanted to talk about the story. And so I wrote this like long paper, and I feel like I'm going to have it up while I'm playing. Or I'm going to have to make sure that I'm not talking through the entire playthrough just because there's so much there. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Anyway, part 1 is what we're playing right now. Ooh, a manual.
I guess this is as good a spot as any.
I think I lost a few viewers when I was going off on my like story love. Sorry if I'm boring you all. Yeah, I'll take you. But really, I'll also take you.
Do just fine.
Yes, it will, Joel. Jolie Joel. Sure. To the left.
Okay, that's good. Slowly.
All right, that's good.
Tommy's here. Good to go. Good to go. Ready?
Go ahead, hit it.
Here we go.
And I love all the setup and like the precursor to all of this stuff for Jackson.
Nice work, boys. Somebody get on the horn and give Maria the good news. You see that?
Hey, pretty impressive. Looks like you're out $2 million.
All right, Joe. Let's go talk.
I'm impressed with my new green screen setup this week, y'all. I'm glad that my green screen finally came and I was able to get it set up. It finally came yesterday, and so I was playing last night hoping that I would get it organized for this. And I did, and it worked.
It's quite the crew you got here.
Yeah, they're good men. This place gives them a second chance. Gives us all a second chance. So why'd you leave Boston?
I've been on quite the adventure, little brother.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Well, go on then.
She's immune.
Immune to what?
Tommy.
Oh,
Seen her,
come on.
I know I've seen her breathe enough spores to take down 12 men. Nothing. Now, I wouldn't have believed it neither, but I can show you.
All right. I'll bite. Why bring her here?
Supposed to deliver to the Fireflies. Well, I figure they're your boys. Finish
Thank you for the
job,
follow,
collect the whole damn
Briannosaurus
thing.
I haven't
Rex.
seen a
You are a
firefly in
rock
years.
star.
You know where they are. Now, I'm not asking for much, Tommy. I just want some simple gear, enough to set me on my way.
What makes you think I'd do this for you?
This isn't for me, Tommy. This is for your damn cause.
My cause is my family now. You ain't talking about some walk in the park here.
Jesus, boy.
You're gonna have a
Maria
couple
gets
of
some
causes,
report-again friend
Tommy.
to do it,
They
but
got families too.
Tommy, I need this.
You want some gear? Sure. But I ain't taking that girl off your hands.
This is how you gonna repay me, huh?
Repay you.
For all those goddamn years I took care of us.
Took care. That's what you call it? I got nothing but nightmares from those years.
You survived because of me.
It wasn't worth it.
I bring you the cure from mankind, and you want to play the pissy little brother.
We ain't back in Boston. You lay your hands on me again, it won't end well for you.
The hell is that?
We're under attack. You still remember how to kill, right?
Yeah.
That scene is, in my
Don't
opinion,
let him into the building!
well, very well crafted. Because there's so much there. For both of them. You know, it's like we meet Tommy, and Tommy seems like this, like, cool, nice guy. And not that he is a terrible person or anything. But, you know, he and Joel get into their heated argument, and we see these sides of them that I think, you know, that we have seen from Joel before, yes. We're not new to... you know, to Joel being gruff. I'm just taking a break to, like, do this thing. But that it's a little reminder of, like, hey, let's not forget that Joel's got a rough, or that, you know, Joel has this, like, rough side. Oh shit, I did not even see this dude. I will take that pipe. I will take that huff kit. I will take that mat.
Bandits! They're breaking into the building!
Can you get out of there?
No, we're trapped.
We're gonna come to you. Just
They're here. Ellie, hide!
Maria.
Oh, right, the axe. Well, I'll come back for it. Oh, man. You know, and as we've talked about before, Joel and his relationship to people and combat, we are getting it again with Tommy. Oh, man. Oh, damn it. That guy's just standing there.
That's all, those sons of bitches.
We gotta get to the girls!
Right behind you.
Joel. Do your thing.
There you are. Ah, damn it. Yeah.
Tommy? I'm all right. The kid's with me.
That was too damn close.
That was close.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Joel. Oh man, they were coming in from every direction. Then Maria was like, "We gotta run!" And so we dove over these tables, and this huge guy blasted with a shotgun.
Slow down. Listen, hey, are you hurt?
No.
And of course, we have to have this fight to have this moment.
I need to talk to you.
Absolutely not. You tell him to go find somebody else.
Maria, I can't have this hanging over me.
You know,
You
he
have any idea
sees,
how many men
Tommy
lost?
sees Joel with
What's that all
Ellie
about?
and is like, oh, shenanigans.
Does that have anything to do with me?
Talk about it later.
Did he tell you where the lab is?
We'll talk about it later.
Later. Right.
One fuck up and then I turn into one of those widows, okay?
I have to do this. I don't know what else to say.
Fine.
Maria.
Here we go.
You. If anything at all happens to him, it's on you.
She's thankful, you know.
That's a loaded statement,
Yeah.
considering.
I'll take that girl of yours to the Fireflies. You don't have to worry about it.
It's best this way.
You know, maybe some real good will come of this.
I need to talk to Ellie.
Say again, I didn't hear you. Joel!
Wait, what is it?
That girl of yours. She took one of our horses and rode off.
Damn it. Which way?
Come on.
I mean,
I just saw her riding on out of here.
Go back inside.
what do you
I'll be able to
expect,
clean the place up.
Joel?
Okay. Careful out there.
There.
Yeah.
Tracks?
This segment is filled with a lot of turning points.
She couldn't have gotten far. We'll find her. Don't worry.
You know, a turning point for Tommy, who we've
She
essentially
usually pull these stunts.
only barely just
Something
re-met.
like this. What's going on?
You know, and we can already tell that he's a little bit different than he was at the beginning, naturally, as Joel is as well. You know, and we are also going to get some good stuff from Joel. This segment
They go
is
down this way.
just a gold mine of a lot of story moments and a lot of things.
There. 4 tracks. Whoa, 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 whoa!
How many do you see?
Too goddamn many.
Go around, I'll cover you.
Nope, there we go.
Right here!
God, Tommy, you scared me. You scared me, bro.
That's all of them.
Back to the horses.
Back to the horses.
The horses just conveniently reappear. Oh, okay. There we go.
Tracks keep going this way. So they didn't get to her.
That's all. There is a big theme in this game, if you have not caught on to it yet, of Joel and Ellie getting separated. It happens again and again and again, and sometimes it's forced upon them, and sometimes it is a chosen separation. And I think that it comes for different reasons at different times. And this one is obviously presented to us because it is one of the biggest,
Look, by the ranch.
one of the
That's
one
our
of
horse. She's
the
gotta
biggest
be
like
there.
turning points for Joel. But they tend to get separated story-wise for the for the purposes of obviously coming back together, and also for the purposes of developing their relationship even deeper, and for us to understand that at every turn, when they are faced with something that is difficult, or let me rephrase
Ellie!
that. That
I'll keep an eye out.
it's
Reckon you
just
guys
yet
need to have a
another, as we talked about, that it's like at every, kind of every step of the way they're making decisions, they're trying to get to their goals, and they're being faced with obstacles. You know, and sometimes the obstacle is a physical obstacle, people or infected, and sometimes the obstacle is an emotional obstacle, you know, as we've talked about before. And them getting physically separated is both. And it's always
There's another.
a nice point. Why is there just a Molotov in this bathroom? It's always nice character development when they get separated and they come back together, and it's always emotional, and it always serves the story in a very specific way. And this is about to be one of the biggest turning points and one of the biggest moments for them when they have gotten separated and are now coming back together. Did you have to kick it? I mean, that's just... This scene.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. It's bizarre.
Get up. We're leaving.
And if I say no?
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk, it's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want from me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area.
Oh,
better
fuck
than-
that.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit.
I
What
love
are
that
you
she
so
calls him
afraid
out.
of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
I'm not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. We are going our separate ways.
Get it together. We're not alone.
I got two walking in.
There's more inside already.
Oh, that scene. You know, again, playing back to the theme that even in the moments where they do get kind of brief respite, it's broken. You know, and that it's like they don't have time to have this fully formed conversation. You know, they have to jump back into combat. They have to jump back into protecting each other. And that scene is so heartbreaking for so many reasons.
Oh, shit. Holy shit.
You know, because Ellie is just living her vulnerability, and not letting Joel get away with any bullshit. Because Joel does have a lot of bullshit. He has a lot of walls up, and Ellie's just not having it anymore. You know, and it's just like, no, we're gonna have this conversation. We are gonna do this. We are gonna do this right now. And we're gonna do it right here. you know, and I think she hits on so many of his nerves.
Hang back.
And he hits on so many of hers. You know, so, I mean, to be as brutal as to say, like, you don't have any idea what loss is, and the fact that she also is living in this world, and it's like, it doesn't matter that she's so much younger than he is. It doesn't matter that she's a kid. Like, her experience in this world has been shitty. She has had a considerable amount of loss, too. And like we talked about earlier, the fact that she's also, on top of that, carrying this massive oh shit. You know, like the weight of the world on her shoulders is huge. You know, and she's trying so desperately to connect with him. And to get him to see that she's not Sarah. I mean, she blatantly says it. You know, and I think, obviously he takes it poorly, as, you know, one would, especially in a heightened situation. He's already so... I will talk after I kill this guy, because I'm just giving you, like, pieces of... Okay.
All right. House is clear.
Let's get back to the horses.
You know, it's like Ellie is so physically far from him now because she's so emotionally detached from him, which I think for him was intentional, as it can so often be, even if it's like subconsciously intentional. You know, but it's like an intentional thing to, you know, to sometimes make someone mad at you so that it makes it easier on you to leave someone or whatever. Or to be detached from someone. And I think that there's some of that psychologically going on here, but also, you know, it's like Joel is in this place where he's like, no, you're going to go, you are going to be safer. I do think that part of him believes that. At this point, you know, part of him does believe that she would be safer with Tommy. You know, and I think part of it is also years and years and years of bullshit that he has built for himself and just really too afraid to fully see her as someone that he really cares that much about, because he still, even with all the turning points that he's had and how much he does care for Ellie, he still hasn't yet crested over into that sense of feeling like he is a surrogate dad. And she cares so much for him, you know, and this first person who's like stuck around, and now he wants to leave. And fuck that, which obviously she says and sort of tries to appeal. It's almost like she tries to appeal to a more logical side of him, but she's not as good at it as perhaps like Henry was when he was appealing to Joel's more logical side.
Hand up.
Got it.
You know, it's like she tries to appeal to it by being like, I'm not this person, I'm not this person, I'm not this person, but Joel isn't really able to take it that way, and it becomes very emotional, as it would. You know, but I think, the reason for the combat there, for so many reasons, and for this scene of us sort of like watching them, ride through the woods and stuff like this, is that it's this quiet moment of reflection for Joel that, yes, they just had this conversation, but then all of these people just came into this house, tried to, kill them or whatever, and he gets this moment, and we're seeing him contemplate everything that just happened. And I think it's nice to have these little scenes of them walking through the woods, because it really is this turning point for him that happens, in the woods when they're walking back,
Kids be watching
and when
movies,
he's
man.
fighting in the house.
Where is this lab of theirs?
It's all the way out, University of Eastern Colorado.
Go Bighorns. Ellie, get off your horse. Give it on back to Tommy. I'm gonna hang on to this fella, if that's all right with you. Go on, don't make me repeat myself.
What are you doing?
Your wife kind of scares me. I don't want her coming after me.
Sorry for stealing your horse.
That's
Come
not
back to
why,
town,
Joel.
Let's discuss it at least.
You know me, my mind's all made up. University, Eastern Colorado. How do I find this lab?
It's in the science building. Looks like a giant mirror. You can't miss it.
Take care of that wife of yours.
There's a place for you here. You know?
You good?
I'm good.
Adios, little brother.
So much there.
Call to the other team,
Right, it's called turnover.
and if you clear the 10 yards, then
Like
you're back.
they're talking about football.
First down, that's right.
Man, it's confusing.
Like, I want to know how that conversation,
Just gotta play
like
it
how
one time.
they got
It
there.
all makes sense.
I love
Okay.
the
Some of
university.
these buildings look like a mirror to me.
I think
Well, we had to
the
Central
art
Ground.
is so
Able to
beautiful,
see most of the campus from there.
and the ability to sort of wander around a little bit, more than you have in certain other places. I dig it. But that other scene is so great because there's so much there in terms of growth with Joel and Tommy, and sort of coming to an understanding with each other, and also growth with Joel and Ellie. Obviously, it's like she did get through to
What kind
him.
of name is Callus, anyways?
My fault you forgot to ask Tommy his name.
Callus.
Flamethrower. I will take it. Hello. I have to lean forward toward my computer to see this little bar. Hello, Oscar XD. Thank you for following and welcome. We're just chatting about story here. I was talking about the scenes that we just got of Joel and Ellie having their fight, but then also, when they go back and they're sitting in front of Jackson, how beautiful and lovely and wonderful that is, that we sort of have finally gotten to this point of this extreme vulnerability between Joel and Ellie, and them getting closer, and that relationship, and how beautiful and wonderful it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Thank you for stopping by.
This should help us out.
You're from Poland. That's awesome. I would love to visit Poland someday. I am in Los Angeles. That is the place that I call home. It's been rather hot here recently, but today it's a little cooler. It's like in the 80s. It's no longer like 100 degrees, which is lovely. Which makes it a heck of a lot easier to play in my bedroom with no air conditioning, because I can't have the AC on when I stream because it's loud.
Scooch.
There we go. Jumping. But I was just talking about also how beautiful I think the university is. I love it. It's so well crafted.
How many people
We haven't
do you
gotten a
think are
note
there?
in a while, y'all.
Fireflies.
I miss doing these dramatic
It
readings.
takes quite a crew to run that operation.
Do you think there'll be other people my age?
I'm not sure.
We're like sidestepping here.
I'll stay with Callus.
I hate that.
Oh, breaking their dialogue again.
Whoa. What is it?
Sounds like runners.
Stay with the horse. I'll go check it out. Yes, I don't want him running off. I'll be right back.
Halo Effect 33, what is up? Thank you for following. Thank you for stopping by. So sneaky. I also appreciate what they've done in terms of how deserted the university is, with the fact that there are really, for a good portion of it, just infected here. And so again, it gives us that good mix of, oh, well, it gives us that good mix of the combat between excuse me, between fighting with people and fighting with infected, and we've been fighting with people for a bit, so it's nice that we are now fighting with infected, and I think it serves the story in terms of this place is fucking deserted. Oops.
Shit.
And that kind of from the get-go, at least I did the first time that I played it, I got a sense of like, they're not here. Yet again. You know, yet again, something is being thrown in their way that they didn't expect. Joel and Ellie, I mean. You know, and yet again, they're faced with, oh God, something else, some other barrier that we're facing.
That a fact?
Yeah. Can you imagine being up there all by yourself? That would have been cool. I'm just saying.
Ellie in space, Ellie in space. We had to rig up the door to the generator upstairs. Please use it sparingly. We're running out of gas.
What about you?
Hiya, Brick. Hi.
was a
Briannosaurus Rex have to go. Have a good rest of your stream. Thank you for stopping by
singer.
and for keeping me company for a bit. I don't know if you're still here or not.
Come on, I won't laugh.
But thank you.
I don't think so.
I have enjoyed chatting with you. And I'll see you later, and I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. What am I doing?
Well,
I'm just running around. I think it's great too, not only from a gameplay standpoint, to have the university be so big and sprawling, but also from a story standpoint, because I think it really speaks to, one, where Joel and Ellie are kind of emotionally and with each other, that they are very vulnerable and they're very open. And I know that's kind of like very woo-woo and metaphoric. But I think that that's really nice. And also just the fact that
Monkeys?
Yeah, old mess.
they have been traveling so far, and it really gives us a sense of how big the world is, and how long they've been on this mission, and how far they still have to go. Monkeys.
That was kind of awesome.
First time seeing a monkey?
I'll be here.
Was that an answer, Ellie? First time seeing a monkey, I'll be here. That seems right. I'm gonna get back on. I love that in one, Joel's in the front, and guiding the horse, and then, you know, when we get to two, Ellie is in the front. It's just a nice little nod, a nice little thing, you know. Whatever. I just think it's cute. Okay, well, we'll go around. I think what's so interesting about Tommy, and I know I'm kind of backtracking, but Tommy's decision to you know, when he says like, okay, I'll take her to to you know, the Fireflies or whatever. I think what's so interesting about that is that it's not this hope that Joel has talked about that Tommy at one point had. It's not like the hope of, oh, you can, you know, maybe we can save humanity or whatever it is. It's actually seeing Joel behave the way that he behaves with Ellie that makes Tommy go, okay, yeah, I guess this has changed my mind and I will do this. And I think that that's a nice, interesting character nod, because health kits. Because it just really speaks to not only Tommy and who Tommy is, but what he is seeing out of Joel. And how much Joel has changed, even certainly since we've seen him, but especially since Tommy has seen him. I do love a far listening mode distance.
Scoot back.
Hey, look. Fireflies.
Yes, indeed.
Joel, look.
I like how Ellie just like points stuff out.
Let's try that gate.
It's just such a nice little kind of a nod to kids, because they generally do.
There it is.
There it is.
This won't budge. Watch yourself.
You too.
A map. I just ran into a table. I don't know why I'm creeping around so much. I just like to creep. A note, a dramatic reading, everyone. A student's journal. January 18th. 9 goddamn months of waiting and still nothing. No word from anyone. Found some additional cans of food in the dining commons, but they won't last. Had an incident at the Eastern Hall barricade, but everything's still secure. January 31st. I caught a glimpse of a group of those things running around. I saw one that looked like Heather. Maybe it was Heather. Fuck. February 10th. Since batteries are running short, they're now only listening to their radio once a night. I gave up on that since the last broadcast. It's been 3 fucking months. Why do they bother? February 25th. Cheryl. God damn it, Cheryl. Cheryl was smoking out yesterday. She said she... Excuse me. Cheryl was smoking out yesterday. Said she needed it. She got pissed when I threw her stash. Why would you throw out her stash? She got pissed when I threw out her stash. She doesn't get it. We need to keep a clear head here. Someone's going to have to go into town to get more supplies. It's probably going to be me. Don't throw out Cheryl's stash. That's fucked up. She needs it. She's fine. She could be high and go on patrol. Ellie and Duna do. Ew. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Damn it, spores.
Already full? Oh. So many supplies. It keeps throwing me off. But I won't say no to this many supplies. I keep looking at my webcam is up here, but I keep looking at my one that's on my computer. Because I use my phone to stream, and I keep forgetting that. I do have a brick. I do have a brick. Brick and switch, got a brick. You know, Joel, you're trying to sneak. I think you probably shouldn't be so loud when you're trying to sneak. Just saying. I mean, look, it's your choice. It's your life, but... You know what? Ooh, 50. That's pretty dope. Ooh, 30. Jeez. Oh, no, I'll take the brick. I've talked about this before, but I think in the first game there are like brick people and there are bottle people. In the second game it matters a little bit less. I will take a bottle if it's offered and I don't have anything else, but I prefer a brick. Not gonna lie. I guess I could have killed the bloater. It wouldn't have been that hard, but, you know. Why? I think this is one of the first times in the game, and we're only separated from Ellie briefly here, but it's one of the first times that they get separated and are on fairly good terms. Ooh, a note. A newspaper clipping. U.S. military recalls search effort by Lev Benioff, field writer. With the latest WHO report estimating that as much as 60% of the world's population is either dead or infected by the CBI pandemic, the United States military has released a statement that they're recalling all of their search efforts. Regions up to 10 miles from each quarantine zone's perimeter will remain under patrol for citizens attempting to enter, but no further effort will be made to evacuate those potentially trapped in hard-to-reach areas. Great. Like, thanks. Thanks who? Thanks, U.S. military. Thanks, pandemic. We know all about pandemics, don't we? Too real. But yeah, I think this is, I mean, when they get separated when they're in the sewers with Henry and Sam, Ellie and Joel are also on fairly good terms, but they don't often get separated when they're on good terms. It's usually when, like, something's wrong.
More infected, I'm fine.
Here, come up on the gate.
But it's nice to sort of get a sense of them getting separated and it being okay. I don't know if anyone else feels that. I feel that. I feel like, oh, I'm not also worried about the emotional state of this relationship while also being worried about being separated and at the same time trying to survive when I'm with infected or with people following me or whatever.
Let's try the gate.
Ha! You did it!
Yeah, come on through. Scooch.
Those clickers. I think they were fireflies?
No. No, I don't think so.
Why would they have infected so close to the lab?
Well, Bill used them as a
I like
form
that
of
she's like
defense. Maybe they're
singing
doing the
and
same.
asking these very serious
Yeah,
questions.
I could see that.
Let's go.
No guards. No nothing.
Yeah, I'd expect to see someone by now. Let's get inside.
Yeah, I would too, man. I would too. Oh, just climbing up on lights, apparently. Why not? You don't really need that flashlight.
Have you ever been to one of these?
What, university?
Yeah.
No, not as a student, at least.
Why not?
Joel snuck out and went to parties.
I had Sarah when I was pretty young.
Were you married?
For a while.
What happened?
Okay. Too much.
I even like in that interaction that you get a sense of how their relationship has grown. That it's like Ellie immediately realizes she's gone too far, and Joel doesn't. Joel instead of instead of truly like shutting her down in a way that's kind of like a little bit angry as he has before, it's more of a silent, not silent, but just quieter and more gentle thing of, you know, please don't ask that, or like, okay, that's enough. But again, in a gentle way, not in a way that is meant to make Ellie feel stupid or feel bad or meant to push her away. It's more in a way of like, that's too much for right now. Thank you. I've already been this way. Where am I going? But yeah, I dig that in that moment because I think it says so much with very little, which is nice. That's good storytelling, being able to say a lot with little. Not that you can't say a lot with a lot, you can, but I thought, no, there must not be. Huh. I seem to remember finding something of importance in one of these one time, but maybe not. I'm coming. I can't run that fast. I'm old, Ellie. That works too.
All right, not what I had in mind, but it'll do.
Won't it though? All right. I like how there's all this trash in this trash can, and it's like, how long has it been sitting there? That's what I want to know. How long has that trash been in that dumpster? Because that cannot smell very good at all. Come on, Ellie. Right? What is happening? Walk away. Come back. No? Are we getting glitchy? That was weird. I could not get up there.
Come on, kiddo, give me your hand.
Thanks. Let's look around.
Joel was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna climb right now. I'm good.
Let's do this.
Someone's knocking on my door. I will be right back. I am back. It was a package for my roommate. My roommate's working on a show right now as an art director, but on the lot that she's at, they can't really get deliveries on the lot a lot. So she gets a lot of the stuff delivered to our apartment, so we just constantly have all of these giant packages. The one that she got today wasn't giant, but sometimes we just get these enormous amounts of packages. It's like I'll come home from work sometimes. I work in the industry as well, but I work on a different show. Or the entertainment industry. It's so pretentious to say the industry. There are so many industries. But I'll come home from work and just see all of these packages just sitting in front of our door. It's funny.
Yoo-hoo! Fireflies!
Oh,
Here for mankind over here.
geez, Ellie.
Anyone?
Let's keep it down until we figure out what's going on.
I like the shiv like disappears into the door. I think it's a good choice here to have us spend so much time in the university, like before we really come to anything, because I think it both sort of like gives us a calming moment of, oh, you know, to collect some supplies and get everything together and whatever, while also providing a certain sense of, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but a certain sense of dread. You know, and like, oh, we're going further and further and further into this university and just not seeing anything and not seeing anything and not seeing anything. And okay, when are we going to run into someone? Are we going to run into someone? What is going to happen? It's a pretty good build, in my opinion.
This'll hold.
I guess everything I say is in my opinion. I guess I don't need to necessarily, like, say that after everything that I say.
We ain't alone.
Maybe it's one of them.
Stay close. We found out where they went.
Joel always, like, enters rooms with such veracity. Fungal X-rays. X-rays of fungal growths on patients' brains. Oh. Look at that. It grows all over the brain. I don't know if you know. monkey.
At least it ain't clickers.
No fireflies either.
Oh, Ellie's
Well,
so
maybe in all that
disappointed.
research, they turned into fucking monkeys.
Let's keep searching. We'll find something.
It's 4 pallets of lab equipment all packed up and ready to go. Now, big question is, what do we do with all you guys? They say the tainted batch needs to be put down. You know what I say? I say screw that. Who made a bigger sacrifice than you, right? Anyone deserves to run free out there. Hey, easy! Shit. Oh no. You did me. Oh my god.
Sure glad we didn't mess with them monkeys.
We
Drama.
didn't say where they went.
I know, let's just keep looking.
You're looking for the fireflies. They've all left.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm dead. Or I will be soon. Got me some time to reflect. Been years that felt like we were... Fucking thing was a giant waste of time. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Come on.
Looking for the others. They've all returned to St. Mary's Hospital in Salt Lake City. You'll find them there. Still trying to save the world. Good luck with that.
Oh, that hospital.
Do you know where that is?
I know the city.
Is it far?
It ain't close. Horseback.
What? Fireflies?
Get down!
Oh!
Not fireflies.
What the fuck are these guys?
Don't matter. We know where to go. Let's get the hell out of here.
Fuck!
Two can play that game, bro. I think I'm gonna try to get through this section and then probably be done for the day. I'm also gonna go back and get that axe. Definitely. Ellie. I adore you, but...
You asshole!
Ooh. Ugh.
What do you want me to do? What? Oh man. Joel?
I'm gonna need you to pull.
Okay. Wait, you ready?
Talk about obstacles.
1,
Physical and emotional.
Let's get to the damn horse.
I don't see anyone. Let's go. Joel?
This is big character and story development for Ellie.
Can you handle the window?
Yeah.
Because she's, it's becoming Ellie's show.
Come on, move! Alright. Just stay here. Fling this asshole.
Ellie. Those were my friends, you cute ass. You want to do this the hard way?
Oh. I waited too long. That's what I get.
We gotta get you out of here.
I'm okay.
You're not okay, Joel! Now come on! Move it! There's no one here. Hurry. You're doing good. Just keep at it. Oh, man. Here, lean on me.
No.
Well, can you walk?
Yes.
Then fucking walk!
And Joel still in some capacity kind of doesn't want her to have to help.
There's the exit. Just a little bit more, come on. Hey. Joel?
Behind you.
What?
Ellie. The kid's got a gun.
He's in. Shit. Joel,
I like that we get like pieces of that.
here. Stand up. Push your arm around me. All right, let's go. I swear to God, I get you out of this. You're so singing for me.
You wish.
You know what, Joel? Maybe you will.
Wait here. I'll get the door.
Take your time.
Come on.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
Just get the horse.
All right. Can you get on?
Yeah, this is about to be some big stuff for Ellie, which we'll get into next week, because, you know, we're coming to, you know, we're in our third hour, and I usually only do 3. But this is a different kind of vulnerability in their relationship that we haven't seen yet, which is, I think, it's a perfect time to see that and to have that, because we have, you know, we are kind of cresting into this new time and this new gameplay, technically, because now we're about to be playing as Ellie. And I think it's good for the story because it yet again gives us another huge hurdle that they have to overcome, and it's Ellie now really stepping into the next kind of tier of her power, which is so great for the story, and so great for us as an audience that have had her following along with us, and we feel very protective of her, and now we become her, which is so smart, you know, and we flip the roles a little bit, that Ellie becomes this protector of Joel and she has to take care of these things, which is so great from a story standpoint and so great from an audience standpoint for us. So yeah, I think we'll pick up here next week with this little bunny, and be in, you know, out in the woods, and we'll play as Ellie, and we'll start winter. So thank you for joining this week. I'm so glad you tuned in, whether you came for the whole time or you just came and popped in and, you know, you said hi in the chat and stuff, or if you just lurked, whatever, all good. I appreciate everybody being here, and I hope you're staying healthy, and I hope you're staying sane, and I hope you're staying excellent, and, you know, be safe out there, and I'll see you next week.